Hi guys, so I generally don't talk about issues like this on the channel. I mainly just talk about politics, but this is a mix between politics and philosophy, and I think it's important that it is raised and it is talked about. There is a robust debate on this topic. So as you can see on the screen, New Zealand are voting to allow euthanasia in their country, and there is a vote on Saturday. I don't know how I haven't really been following it, but I hope that the people in New Zealand vote to allow euthanasia to take place in their country. Here in Europe, we don't have free access to euthanasia. Mainly, there are two examples that we generally point to, those being the Netherlands and Switzerland. And I think that's not on. My own personal belief on this, and I'm going to say some things that are controversial. I know I'm going to get some flack for this. I know people will disagree with me, but we don't choose to be here. Nobody has chosen to be born. So surely we should be free to leave, to check out. I think it's extremely depressing to see people who are terminally ill, people who are deeply suffering from physical limitations, who want to die, who feel that life is undignified, and the state interfere and the state say, no, you cannot go. We're not going to provide you the measures to go. We're not going to provide you the means to end your life. Even though we know you're suffering, we know that life is a greater sufferance than death. In a sense, death is no longer suffering. I know this is a very emotive topic, and it touches many people, and it touches me as well. But I truly believe that, once again, we were not consulted when we were born. So surely we should have the freedom to die. Now, I'm not for a complete free-for-all, in the sense that I think there should be checks and balances, measures put in place to avoid people being exploited by this. So the idea of having perhaps a lawyer involved or a judge involved, having a doctor, a psychiatrist involved as well. I'm not an expert on this, so I don't know which would be better, to have a doctor and a psychiatrist, or just a psychiatrist. I don't know. But I definitely think there should be a judge or a lawyer involved as well, to make sure that people are not being manipulated. It's not I'm putting pressure on Uncle Bob, and because Uncle Bob is a problem for me. If Uncle Bob wants euthanasia, he should have access to it, but it must be Uncle Bob deciding, not me deciding for him. And in the same way, I should be free to decide for myself. Now, I know there are limits also, because of particular illnesses like dementia, it can be difficult to understand if this person is making the decision because they truly believe it, or because of a certain impairment. But once again, I think it's very important that we have this freedom. I can't think of a more important freedom than this. Because once again, we didn't choose to be here. We should have the freedom to go. And unfortunately, I feel this argument, this position, this topic is influenced too much by religion. Now, my biggest problem with that is that if religious people don't agree with euthanasia, that's their decision. But unfortunately, they influence the state. They vote in elections on this issue, and they take this right away from people who are not religious, or maybe from another religious background. So to say that it's something personal and it's not affected by the state is not true. We know that. The state should allow people, should create the mechanisms to allow people access to euthanasia. I truly hope that New Zealand will vote yes in this referendum, or in this vote, whatever they're having. Because it's our humanity that's at stake. Now, I know that mistakes can happen, that people may not be fully able to decide for themselves, and perhaps the euthanasia is applied to them without their consent, or some mistakes take place in all of this. But we can't allow perfection to be the enemy of the good. We need to allow people this human right. I believe it's a human right. I think this is an issue that affects all of us. I think we all know people who are perhaps very close to the end, or people who are in a desperate situation. Maybe their bodies are not functioning, but their minds are functioning. And death would be an escape for them, a release for them, the end of suffering. I'm myself in good health at the moment, touch wood. But if that were to change, maybe my position on this would change. I don't think it would, because I truly believe in the liberty of life. This is the way I view it, as the liberty of life, the freedom for us to do what we believe is correct for our own lives. The idea that the state would be involved, that the state would decide for us, for me is too much. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. You ensure that this channel continues to exist. I'm eternally grateful for all of your support. If you join Patreon, you will receive instant access to our Discord server, where we have both audio and video chats. You can chat with me and other patrons, where we discuss important and non-important issues. Becoming a patron per month costs about the same as a large coffee, so why not check it out?